So as I'm trying to find the match of who I am with a possible company that I want to open, some examples that I think of while I was like, okay, what works for me, what's not going to work for me. So before I wanted to start my own company, because at first I didn't think I could start my own company. Like I was 21, I had saved up a bunch of money and I was like, okay, so should I franchise? Should I get into this? So here's the thing about being denied. Over the years of my trial and error, there was a lot of spaces where I was denied for franchises because me personally, have a personal brand that overrode maybe some franchise companies. I would overshadow them, and a lot of their investors or stakeholders weren't okay with that. It's like, yeah, you got the money, you have the business, you have the degrees, you know how to do things, but you're like larger than our brand is, so can we really take this on? So that was like a really weird twist in my story and being denied. So I oddly was like, I would love to open up some frozen yogurt stores. My daughter would love that. It's quick service, I'm fast paced. These were some of the things that I started realizing, okay, check. I like fast paced, check. I don't have to be at the store all the time, check. My family would love it, my community would love it. And at the time, I was living in Lakeway, Texas. I saw that there was a huge boom, Austin, Texas, a huge boom of growth. And I needed something that would connect with these communities, connect with myself. And there's a lot of things that you have to look at and be strategic in order to make this work. And I think after all of the screenings I went through for other companies and getting approved and knowing exactly the details of location, what the building structure is, your price per square foot, all of these things and kind of meshing together a business plan was very crucial for what I needed to do. So after being denied, I go, well, I've been pushed around enough and I'm going to have my own brand. And my brand is going to be better than all of the brands that I may have to come up against and compete against. And so I made Froco a fresh and frozen food company that turned into being about frozen yogurt. And I created a mascot, Koba the Popping Boba, who's on the bar at the store. So it was a topping, it was a mascot, it was family vibes, and it started working in 2014. 2014, I wanted to start construction and I wanted to find a location. This is a very difficult situation now that I'm talking about it and I'm thinking about it with you. Finding a location, it's always going to be more cost effective if it's second generation. Hence, the Froco we're in now is a second generation location. But the first location that was actually supposed to be for Froco was ground up, a brand new mall. It actually was located in South Austin. And the contractor wasn't providing anything on time. So the contractor started going under, they couldn't get their permits. It started just kind of crumbling. And I thought, oh my God, my dream is gonna crumble because I can't even get the building built. And there are some things beyond my control. So maybe your first location isn't gonna work out. Maybe the first time you make a mascot, or the first time you're figuring out your menu, or the first, those things may not be perfect and they may not work out, and that's okay. I literally kept thinking day and night about it. I was getting hungry to make it happen, and I feel like that's what an entrepreneur does. You will survive, you will strive through the toughest times when you look like you're gonna fail, you haven't even opened yet. And it's like, can I find the right contractor? Can I find the right commercial agent? Can I find what I need to find to make this happen? A year later, after I had all these copas made, the cups started shipping, I just started storing everything in storage because I was like, I know this is gonna happen. I know my dream's gonna happen, but I just need to store it. I need to wait for the right time. Sure enough, one thing led to another, from buying property and different things. You know, entrepreneurs always keep busy. So in the meantime, I'm over here doing some investments in real estate, and I met the right commercial agent so that I could find a better location. I ended up seeing that a frozen yogurt store went out of business. Second generation, had a great outdoor space. I now had to meet the business owner. And I had to show him and I had to tell him about my business plan, what my brand was. He had to believe in my brand as much as I did in order for me to get approved to just open up a store. So I brought my business plan, laid it all out with all the information that was on the commercial websites for the space. So I knew pricing, square footage, kind of the parameters of, okay, if I have this space, these are when you can open, close, some of the triple nets, so you have to pay other fees for cleaning and everything like that. It's shared because it's in a mall. If it's freestanding, that's a different story. But if you're in a mall, which I thought would be best because I'm around other like-minded businesses, that would keep feeding my business, something to think about. So I brought my Koba, my popping boba in, and I'll have to show you my little plushie. And I gave that to him and I said, you know, if you have grandkids, I hope you share this with them. This is how I created my brand. I hope it competes with all the other frozen yogurt brands. Let me know what you think. I didn't even have frozen yogurt for him to try at the time. I just was giving him my mission, my brand, family friendliness. Is this okay for the community? Can you please approve me? I heard back later that day and he said he wasn't interested in my brand. I was very let down. Give it 3 weeks later, the commercial agent calls me and says, he was trying to put in a hot dog store, a wine bar. No one could get the financing and the construction in time for what he needs. He'll let you have the store. So it wasn't really about selling your brand or your dream to someone. It's about business. It's about money. It's about timing. And you just have to hang in there and it goes. So I had an unreal expectation after learning, like, yes, you're approved, I want your money, to you have 30 days to open, or otherwise you don't get 6 months of free rent, and all these other stipulations. So it was pretty crazy. This was my first lease. And I was like, okay, but I'm gonna jump, hop, and skip to meet this and do this right so that I can have my first business. Many of you might feel the same way. Like, if you were given a business, would you go all out and make that happen? That's what I did. So I literally opened up the store in 30 days. I started calling, getting my machines, my refrigeration, getting all my suppliers, distributors, everything lined up immediately. And within a week, everything was here. The last thing that I stayed up so late before the grand opening was my POS system. So I have to say, watch your percentages, make sure you know how to set up everything. And I did everything from picking up the furniture, the machinery, making sure I trained myself. As I look around the store, I did everything, and I feel so proud of myself for knowing exactly everything that's going on in my store, and nobody else could run my store better. It's a blessing. So the grand opening was here. It was filmed on my show that I was a part of for 10 years. Like, lines out the door, kids on the windows, parents so happy, local news came. It was a success in my own head, even on the grand opening. And I can't wait to have that feeling for you guys. And maybe you guys can send me videos, pictures of your first grand opening, and I'd love to share those.